Wagwan viewers and subs, welcome back to class. Thank you for tuning in. In today's video, I'm going to be working with Kerry Brown from KB Boat and Yacht Repair. So let's show you what's going on. Alright guys, so we're working on something a bit different from the car work for a second. So can you tell us a little bit about what we're about to do and what we're working on?
So we're working on today our lower unit from a boat. We're going to paint it black. So before we could paint it black, we got a whole bunch of scratches on here on the lower unit. So we got to sand it with some 220, or you can use 150 to sand it with. So we taped off the drives already so we don't get any overspray on them. So we're going to get ready to start prepping our lower units.
Let's go ahead and start now. We're sanding with 220 grit sandpaper. Now if you have 150 or 180 grit sandpaper, you can go ahead and use those. It wouldn't hurt a thing. Now just like in the car paint world, guys, you know, you have to sand out the scratches, get them feathered out and smooth so you can add your primer, sealer, or paint. It's the same thing in the boat world. It's just that some of the materials that we might use might be different, more durable, and thicker products. All right, guys, so as you can see here, after sanded, you can see it start to feather out, right? So the main goal is to get all the scratches out of it and smooth it out completely, where when you put your primer over it, you're not going to be able to see the scratches through it. Now if you have some deep scratches like you see we have here, you can get some 60 or 80 grit on your grinder and try to level them out, which is going to be quite difficult. But if you don't want to go this route, you can always get some Bondo and fill in those scratches so you don't have to go this route. However, the primer we use will show you is quite thick and it covers everything. Now this is what it looks like after we went ahead and sand down both sides. Now this is what you would want it to look like after you're done. Now it's time to add the primer. We're going to talk a little bit about the primer that we're going to be using, because in this case it's important that you protect the metal.
Guys, so this is Alexil Course Spec. This is good for your metal. You treat it. This is 3-to-1 mix ratio.
Now it's very important to protect your metal, whether it's your car or your boat, but especially on the boat, as they live in the salt water and it's a much harsher environment for the paint to survive. Now to get our units cleaned up before primer, we're using acetone. Now you can use regular solvent cleaner or you can use denatured alcohol. It's not that big of a deal. It's just getting clean for primer.
This is All Grip Primer 545 2 base. This is the white base primer, and this is the epoxy primer. So you have the reducer and you have the converter. The mixing ratio is 1-to-1.
Alright guys, here's what it looks like after it was primed and the primer is now dry. We laid down 3 nice thick coats on there. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get some guide coat and spray the guide coat on there and get it sanded. The guide coat is going to show us the imperfections. So especially when you're sanding down white, some guide coat will really help you to see everything. Here we're using the NV Electric DA. Now these are orbital sander where you can find them on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. It also comes with a power supply. So we're using 320 to go ahead and sand down the primer. Now when you're sanding your primer, you want to always make sure that you're on top of it. Make sure that you're seeing exactly what you're doing. So get a rag, wipe it off, look at it thoroughly to see if there is any more sanding necessarily in that area, and then from there on you can just continue. Alright guys, so here's what it looks like after we did all that rigorous sanding and we got it here in the boot setup. Now we're giving it one final clean. What are we cleaning this with?
Some Dawn soap.
So we're cleaning this with some Dawn soap here. Dawn soap does a really good job of cutting the grease. You know, just like you wash the dishes. You can use it on cars or boats.
Pets too.
Even pets, you know, it's really good and safe to clean with. Alright guys, so once you're done with your cleaning, go ahead and get your tack cloth and give it a nice tack to pick up the length from cleaning. We're going to be using the Master Pro 44 series to get our base on there. But what we're going to do is, before we paint, we want to take care of all the burn throughs, as this is a different color we're spraying, so they're going from white to black. You want to make sure that you cover up those burn throughs because it's probably going to give you a hard time. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching. That's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to see more boat work and fiberglass work, just check out KB Boat and Yacht Repair and you'll find all the boat work you need there. So until next time guys, class dismissed.